So we've just finished our long course with our students. Of course, they started last September. It's been a challenging year with COVID sitting right in the middle of the course that they've done, but they've been a really good group this year from very diverse backgrounds. Some have done woodworking before, some not at all, but the work they have produced has been truly amazing. Really wide selection of different designs and techniques being used, which is really refreshing and good to see. So they've done very well again.
The course has been great, learned a hell of a lot more precise than I ever thought it was going to be, you know, working to within fractions of a millimetre, which is not something I ever considered when I was thinking about doing the course, but it's been a really worthwhile year, thoroughly enjoyed it. We have Sean Feeney and Jeremy helping out during the week, so it's been really good having 3 people essentially giving you ideas about how to do things. So getting a broader range than just one person teaching has been very useful. I've basically made a sofa table. It's made out of oak with an elm top and bur elm around the middle, 2 drawers at the front. It's all kind of curvy and I like it. I'm really pleased with the way it's come out. Challenges with curves. Curves on furniture, difficult, and there's a lot of them, and joining the curves up would prove to be really quite difficult. I also chose to do a slightly different drawer design as well, where there's a curve inside the drawer, and that proved to be quite tricky as well. But I really enjoyed doing it, and it's come out very well.
Before I came here, I was working in a carpentry workshop for a couple of years. When I finished there, I decided I wanted to improve my skill, take my furniture making to the next level. I was looking for college courses initially, but I didn't want to spend 2 or 3 years learning to train. I wanted a shorter experience, so this was perfect. I could train to become a furniture maker in 1 year and then go find a job after that. When I was working in a carpentry workshop, the tolerances we were working to were much bigger than they are here. So basically, every skill that I had originally working in a carpentry workshop has now just been completely fine-tuned, just down to a much more intricate, accurate state. Also techniques, so saw cutting, joint making, they're just much more tight and narrow now. I wanted to make a chess set, and the table evolved around that idea. And I wanted the table to also function as just a plain, ordinary, occasional table that you could have in your living room. The chessboard rotates over, so you can play your chess game and then rotate the chessboard over so it reveals just a normal tabletop. The main challenges with this design were working with curved legs. That's completely new to me. It's a lot of mathematical working out. It can be quite tricky to work out the radius of the legs, and then a lot of work on the spindle moulder, which can be tricky in itself. They were definitely the hardest part of this. I think this course would be good for anybody who wants to learn how to become a fine furniture maker in a short period of time. Obviously college is the other option, that's good, but it's a 2 or 3 year commitment. Here you can come, spend a year, and you get just as much skill and knowledge as I would say you do at college. So my plan for after the course is to take a couple of weeks off, regroup, and then to start looking for work. I'd like to look for high-end workshops that make bespoke pieces of fine furniture, and then hopefully take my career from there.
I'm a textile specialist and I love experimenting with different materials, and I just felt like I wanted to learn and work with a different material. So that was one of the reasons I chose to come here. I've really enjoyed the course. The visiting tutors on the course are absolutely outstanding. Sean Feeney, absolutely incredible. I've really enjoyed all the sessions with him, and I've really also enjoyed the industrial input from Jeremy Higson. The 2 others that were really good were Quinton, who was the marquetry guy that came in for a day, and Mark Hancock, a visiting tutor as well, did some turning with us. He was absolutely brilliant. I've incorporated a lot of very creative, experimental, quite a wacky sculptural piece. It's a low table. That works really well, and then the other pieces that I've worked on are 6 small occasional tables/stools. So they've got marquetry tops with carved edging. Sean and Jeremy have been there, Sean especially, from the forefront. He's been encouraging me to try something new. So moving away from the traditional fine furniture making. I mean, although we've got all the skills to start with, because it's a 9-month course, I've gone a little bit more wacky and experimental. I'm hoping to set up my own studios from home to start with and create a few bespoke pieces and then see what happens, really.
I left school not really knowing what to do. It took me a little while to figure out something I could spend the rest of my life doing, but I decided that I quite enjoy making furniture specifically, and so decided to come and train to do so. My first impressions were that the facilities were very well put together, and I liked the look of the curriculum as well. It seemed to be very thorough. I found the design side particularly valuable. It seems to be that if you can design something well, it's sort of the first step to making it well. I didn't realise that how much design there would be on the course. It was something I guess I sort of overlooked when I was interested in training this way, but it has since proven to be very valuable. I made a drum table. It's made in English walnut with a starburst sort of veneer top and oak inlays. It has something of a hidden drawer and sort of mouldings throughout. It was the basic things that were sort of most challenging in bringing joints together nice and cleanly and so on.
This is all about a dream that's been building into learning more about wood and something to do in retirement. To come here to get a really good sense of how to do something properly from basics up. My woodworking is non-existent before coming here, so really a true beginner in that sense of furniture building. And it was just an opportunity to learn the basics, the hand skills, the machining to a professional level. I've enjoyed the opportunity to have bench time, which is something you really need to practice these skills. I think it's frustrating being a beginner sometimes. You are always seem to be lagging behind, but as long as you settle into that you're progressing at a pace that's comfortable with you, then you can make sense of it. But it can be quite challenging seeing everybody doing perfect dovetails and yours are coming out not quite so perfect. But that's where the practice and the skill set is developing. My piece is a gaming table, but it also needed to be a dining room table. My son's into Warhammer and game playing. His wish was to get a gaming table that would fit into the confined spaces he had. So it's made of oak, and we're veneering the top leaves and the playing surface beneath that, but everything else is solid oak. And the leaves are removable, and we've built a catchment system for the leaves underneath the table so they're not left on bits of furniture everywhere or the sofa.
The course for me has done everything I wanted it to do. So it's taught us how to use machines and hand tools safely, which is different to what you see on YouTube. It's introduced us to various suppliers and places where we can get wood tools, know how to deal with wood merchants and this kind of thing. The first term and a half is being taught the correct techniques, being taught how to do it safely. You sometimes think, God, do we really have to do it this way? It takes so long to set up. And then once you realise in the third term, when you're on your own doing your own project, oh yeah, this all makes sense now, and you walk away with all 10 fingers. Mine was a drinks cabinet. I had an interest in James Krenoff, so I put together a drinks cabinet inspired by how he's built his cabinets, and I've put a clock face in the back of it that is always at 5 o'clock. So if anybody ever asks, is it too early to have a drink, you can open the door and say, well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. For me, it's just been, 11 months with the shutdown of pure enjoyment. I mean, I've loved being here, look forward to always coming back here, and I'm going to miss it. So I really am.